Okay, here's the clip for you. I want you to never give up this job because I love how flexible that it is that you and I are able to talk during the day while you're at work because, I work second shift. So
Yeah.
while you're at work, um, and we talked on the last episode about how, how many of y'all are so close and tight, like best
Yeah.
friendship wise,
Right.
uh, for how long? Um, and I mean, I see people that like we went to school with that they're like, oh, we did like a thing together, and that's great. And this was feminine. Am I even allowed to say that anymore, or is this like a?
Who knows?
I don't
We'll
know.
get it in the comments if so.
Yeah, people be like,
you can't do that.
I'm doing this saying, it's any group of friends that just aren't manly. Is that allowed to be said? Like, I don't even
Whoopsie.
know anymore.
This has been one set.
Welcome to One Set. We don't want to divulge how much we are infatuated with our jobs, right?
Right.
It would be so unprofessional to be like, I would never work another job on this planet, and be so full of
Whoopsie. Yeah.
There it is, folks.
It's like, you got to make the money, but then it's like, I mean, I love the job that I'm at too, but it's
Dude,
like
you have been there for as long as you've been
13
dating
years.
Jen, basically.
Roughly, yeah. Yeah.
You were basically like, yep, this is
my second relationship.
this
is my side chick. Yeah, that.
Yeah, 100%. You were like, this is a dream for you.
It was all a dream.
It was all a dream.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
But no, I mean, I love what I do because nothing in high school really sparked my interest other than music. And I know I wasn't too much into like music production and like the learning phase of music. It was just more playing in a band. I think if I was into music production at the time, it would have been a very, very hard decision between going for music production and going for, a science degree. But I think ultimately I probably would have still went for a science degree because knowing that even if you were a music producer, it's like one of those things like you're going to be struggling with work until you kind of land that big position with a big producer or get time in a studio with a big guy from working with a big producer under his wing and stuff, where you have a lot of opportunities with where I'm at. And being that I have my master's, it already, levels me up to go even higher. But, I have not a desire. I mean, if I got offered another job that paid me more and, was kind of, similar to what I was doing now, I would totally go for it. But the reason I continue to stay is one, has always been the flexibility, because they continue to be flexible with me and my music.
They get I know that they have given you so much leniency, and I know that that is like one of the big reasons why you've stuck
And
around.
then they
Which
continue to give me
that's so
raises,
important.
if not every year, like every other year or so. I mean, I just got I got a I got a raise at the beginning of the year, and I literally just got a raise like 2 weeks ago. So,
Nice.
I'm making now what I should be making as a master's degree person would. So I mean, I'm comfortable with where I'm at. Coming out of college, it's like, I could be making more, but again, the flexibility was something that was just keeping me around. And I'm like, I don't have the
It's it's just the one
yeah.
amenity that you
Because
were
if I
like,
know I would be going
yeah,
into a bigger company,
yeah,
I would not be able to do half the crap that I'm doing right now.
yeah,
And
not
I
even
don't even
close.
think I would be able to have the time
And you
to
would just
edit and produce a lot of the stuff that we do right now if I had a job that was like more demanding. So it's cool to kind of be in the lab and be like,
all right.
okay, I don't have anything to do. I'm just going to edit the podcast.
Try a little bit less to tell everyone that you're stealing from the company,
yeah,
right?
we'll edit that
out. No, but there are times where like you are so super free, and I'm like kind of not. And then there are days where I'm super free and you are like actually work is
like
doing a
MIA.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm like, what the
Whoopsie.
Anthony? Why are you avoiding me right now? I need you to be here and be my boy right now.
Right.
Right?
And I feel when I'm like having work, I'm like, man, people are going to be so pissed that I'm working right now. But
and you're like, oh. I mean,
like, hey, can you do this back in the lab? Like, well, can you give me about 5 minutes to kind of end my conversation with my buddy here? Like,
what is
here.
love? Baby, don't hurt me.
Don't hurt
me. No more. Yeah.
That. But yeah, it's like there's some days where, like you just said, that when the days that we're both like having, like Thursdays are usually like, I've always had Thursdays as like, prep days. So I can't really do any like experiments. It's more just like prepping for the next day, because we can't do certain things unless I'm coming in on a Saturday, and I ain't coming in on a Saturday unless they're going to pay me. But so, it's like, okay, I know I'm at least going to have a little more free time unless there's something else in the lab that I get, kind of billed for. But, so it's like in those days where I know that I'm not going to have a lot of work. And then one of those days where like, you have a busy day, then I'm like, so what am I supposed to do with my day?
Yeah, there are those days where you're like reaching out to me about like topics of conversation that we want to talk about on the podcast, and I'm like, dude, I am so swamped mentally with everything
Whoopsie
right now, that I'm and it's not like a personal diss or anything, but I'm just kind of like dismissing it,
because I'll just come up with ideas,
and I'm just like, dude, I can't
whoopsie
even and it's like, because when we talk about stuff that we want to talk about on here, we want to be mentally invested. We don't want it to be compromised. We don't want it to be like something else is pulling away, right?
Right. Because I mean, I'll get an idea, and just like we were talking about today, like I was like, kind of taking, the smaller clips from our episodes, and we have our short episode, shorts that we upload, and they've been doing great. But also I've been seeing that people also put like a little bit more like chunks of the episodes and uploading them as well, and then you have the bigger long episodes. So I was trying to be like, okay, because I was skimming a lot of the podcasts we watch, and you know hey, everybody gets ideas off of everybody else's stuff. So it's, hence the internet, everything gets stolen or recreated or kind of matched.
So, one of our good friends, and since we're recording, uh, I won't mention his name on air, but his dad
Mm-hmm.
is one of my favorite people on this planet. Um, and he told me there is no such thing as an original idea. And it's
Mm.
like, yeah, we're all out here just
Right.
piggybacking off each
I mean,
other,
at least at this
right?
point, yeah, there is no longer an original idea because at this point, someone's already done it and you're just recreating it or, doing a spin off of something. Because there's so many people on the internet today doing that. It's almost like music in a way, and again we're getting sidetracked, but that just brought me up and like with there's so many songs out there. Think about how many songs there are uploaded to the internet, or even from now until when music was first produced and recorded.
So,
There's only so many chord progressions and so much music you can write until somebody starts writing and not nonchalant, not even thinking about that song, starts writing the same chord progression, maybe not writing it similar, but if a chord progression's like as simple as C, G, and D, another song could be doing the same chord progression, but in a different rhythm or a different BPM. So it's like there's only so many
the pattern
notes you
might
can
be
hit.
consistent, but it like the span of like the
Right.
phasing might be stretched
It's kind of like the Ed
different.
Sheeran and Marvin Gaye song. Their songs were very similar but different. But they were getting. I think either Ed Sheeran was getting knocked for, plagiarizing Marvin Gaye's song. I think it was what was the song? When your legs don't work like you used to before. Dun, 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 dun.
Not shape of you, not shape of you, not
No.
shape of you. Thinking
Yeah.
out loud,
We're
thinking
gonna.
out loud.
There you go.
Think,
Yeah.
yeah.
It was that song,
So
and I forget Marvin Gaye. What?
that song is actually what I'm using right now, um, for my buddy's wedding dance.
Nice. And when
And
is that again? That's coming up, right?
September 20. It's like the end of September. Yeah. It's
Yeah, because I
like,
know we talked about it on the pod before, like a while ago. But I'm assuming you've been working on it and working with them with that, right?
yeah, I mean, the thing with like, it's really cool like with wedding routines because everybody gets an idea and they're like, we want to do this, man, 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 and then they're gone.
Yeah.
Right. And so for me, and knowing like for me, I just invest, like when it comes to weddings, when I do my work, I'm like, uh holy
Whoopsie.
I better not
Whoopsie.
this up, right?
Yeah.
um but they're also like, oh, this is like just another thing that's happening at the wedding.
Right.
um so I know after I've met with, like, I'm friends with the groom,
Yeah.
the bride was a dancer, and like I've met with them 3 4 times, I think 3 now, and
Uh huh.
she's like, yeah, he hasn't been practicing. Meh. And I'm like, okay, well, this is going to look like crap if he doesn't care about it. That's fine.
Exactly.
Right?
It's only a reflection on me. It's fine.
Yeah. But that's the thing is I'm trying to impress on them like, yo, this
Yeah.
can be really great. And you you brought me into this. You asked me
Hmm.
like, hey, can you build our like first dance like as a
Right.
married couple? And I'm like,
And
you
it's
do.
not even like it's just a segment after the first dance. It's the first dance.
I have Ricky, put your hands down, man. Ricky,
Meh.
Ricky, Ricky, Ricky,
I don't know what to do with my
Ricky, Ricky.
hands.
Yeah, Ricky, 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 Ricky,
Ricky,
Ricky,
Ricky, Ricky.
Ricky, Ricky. Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. But like honestly, I did like the dance for both of my older sisters' weddings, like coordinated, like the choreography. It was like, hey, this is my gift for you. Is this presentation to like kick off the party? Let's
Whoopsie.
go, right?
Yeah.
So when people ask me like, hey, will you do this thing? I'm like, I'm not taking this lightly. Like, I take it very seriously. When people ask me, hey, I want to do a dance thing for my wedding, I don't take it lightly. I'm like, uh, if you're asking me, um, no, this isn't just like a funsy thing. It's happening. It's about to go down, and we're doing this. I mean, we almost got your brother Chris to dance, and then he backed out
Almost.
because he was like, "Oh, I'm gonna hang out with the bridesmaids over there instead." And I was like,
Yeah.
"You know,
Yeah. I mean,
okay."
okay. He did say to me that, I mean, even though seriously, but he was like, I have to do like the speech and everything, and him and public speaking, same thing like for us. Not much of a public speaking person, but on the fact that he also said like, hey, I'm not an entertainer. I don't like being up in front of people. That's for Anthony and Jim. They like doing the whole entertainment and things. So I mean, I'm out. So I'm not surprised that he backed out. Would have been cool if he got in on it with us. That'd have been very cool. Would have been a cool moment for the three of us. But I'm not that I'm not surprised, but I'm okay that he backed out because I wouldn't want him, going up there and not being okay with it. You know, so it worked out, and even still, people did not expect me to go up there and do what I did.
Yeah, I did this thing where I was so like beyond anxious about I was anxious about it like before it happened. Because I knew it was going to be a thing, and I'm pretty
Hmm.
sure I talked about this previously. But because I'm that level of anxious about it, I'm going to bring it up again. I had to present an award on stage for Beat
Right.
Addicts, like in front of everyone, and say, "Yeah, this is who I want to give my award to." Um, and for so many reasons, I was just like, "Yeah, like tripping over my words, just fumbling and being like, so and so, I'm not gonna say her name, but
Yeah. Right.
come up here. And then I was like, congratulations, here's my award. Um, and I just stood there. I walked off, and I was like, I have never felt so socially awkward in my entire life, other than right then and there. Like
Hmm.
that was it. I know you are so great, like talking in front of people, and I've watched you sit there and say, "Hey, my name's Anthony Irvin. I am Spoken Life. This is who I am.
Yeah.
This is what I do." And you just are so amazing. And
It took a while, and like we've talked about
I've
this many times. It took
watched.
me a while. It
Yeah.
took a while for me to get to that point, and like just to be that level of comfortability up on the stage for me. Uh, but there are still times where it's just like, okay, and not even presentation wise of like being able to use my voice to control or be able to voice my thing on stage, but it's like especially if I'm having an off night, then everything like what I'm saying, how I'm playing is like off, and I'm just like, okay, I need to get off this stage right now. But I know I have about another 20 minutes. Then I've only been playing one song, and I'm already messed up, and like so your head gets out of you. But then there's nights where you're having everything go right, and people are interacting with you, you're interacting with them, and like I said, it's just taken a long time, and I don't really think that happened until I started playing the cover gigs. I was on stage for a longer period of time rather than playing for 30 minutes. All I really had to do in my original gigs was just, you know, thank you. Okay, this next song is called this. Play the song. Thank you. Uh, I wrote this song about this. This song is called that. So I'm not really saying too much in between songs. Where here, there's little things you have to kind of plug here and there. Like, "Yeah, thank you guys for coming out to so and so, establishment. I hope you guys are having a good time. Make sure you guys take care of this, take care of that." So you having like your little plug things in your head to make sure you do every couple times during your sets, and then then every once in a while I like to always tell people what the song I just played, because some people don't do that, and I always feel if some people don't know the song, I know when I'm hearing cover bands or solo artists that they're playing a song that I'm like that I may not know, but I'm like, oh, that sounds really good. I mean, I know it's not his song, but I know it's a cover, and when they don't mention who it's from, then I'm like, okay, well now I gotta, if I really want to know, I gotta go up and ask him, oh, what was, and then it's never uh right after that song's done. It's either right after the set's done, and it could have been like the middle of the set. Then you got to ask him, oh, what was that song you played maybe like 20 minutes ago? I know I'm not going to remember it if I didn't say it. So I always like to kind of mention the song that I played, so that if somebody in the crowd is in that type of zone, like, oh, okay, well, I'm really digging this song. And if they didn't know, then I say it. Then they can be like after the set being like, dude, I love that cover you played. I didn't know it was that person that you were covering, but you killed it, you know?
Yeah, I mean, it's like um sorry, dogs are barking upstairs. It's
Dogs
like
are a brewing.
dogs are brewing. Not Boston. Uh
Nah.
no. No. Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. No, I think you and I talking about how like what's attractive between having like short clips and saying, boom, this, boom, this. And we will gain more views on because gains.
Because gains.
Yeah, imagine that.
Gadoosh.
Gadoosh.
Yeah, I mean,
It's
the
like,
ultimate goal is I was thinking the ultimate goal and what my thought process was saying is, the more short form content, it's almost like think of it like as a funnel. The more short form content you put out there, and then you're going to be like, oh, well, I like this little thing they're talking about, but I want to hear more of it. And then you get to the longer bits and you're like, oh, well, this conversation is good, I want to hear more. Then you get to the full episode, then you figure, oh, I'm just watching the rest of this episode, I might as well just go back to the beginning. Because I mean, again, like we talked, how many times have we seen a clip of an episode and then they cut it halfway through the conversation? You're like, well, I want to listen to the other half of this. And then you go to the full episode and you're like, well, cool, now I've been listening to this thing for about 10-20 minutes and I've finished the episode, and I noticed hasn't been another 30 minutes that I didn't watch. I'm going to go back to the beginning, you know?
well, yeah, absolutely. And I think going forward, like, because you're trying to say, let's record 90-minute segments and then gain like the clips for TikTok, Instagram, like whatever. And I'm like,
Yeah.
why don't you and me just talk? And then we decide on like, hey, maybe we can just share this over here, this over here, this over here, this over here. And
Mm-hmm.
people will be like, oh my God, these guys are insanely funny and hilarious. And I'll be like, yeah, all we're doing is talking.
Just talking. Whoopsie.
And we were just, Jesus, when I told Kim about how our podcast was called One Set and for the reason, she was like, no way. I was like, yeah.
Yes way.
I- yeah, biscuit. And then
Yeah.
I was like, I was like, yeah, that's what we're doing.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes. Because, I'm not sure when this little segment will get out, or this little mini episode will come. But I mean, if you guys are watching at this point, knowing that we're talking about, uh, short form and longer form content, I mean, we literally just hit the 30-minute mark here. So, I mean, if you guys are paying attention and you guys are with us all the way this 30-minute, episode or clip, whatever we use of this one, like we always say, put up those number ones in the comments. We appreciate all the love and support that we've been getting, and people have been either viewing us for 2 seconds or 10 minutes. We appreciate, and yeah, man. Long live One Set.
I mean, long live. And it's important to talk about um, the longevity of our friendship. And that's kind of where last episode we were like, yeah, hey, how long have y'all been friends?
Mm-hmm.
And this, like, from episode one, from the birth of this entire podcast has been, yo, let's actually share with the world the fact that we're like we're friends, We love each other,
Mm-hmm.
and we share like unique interest. So
Yes. And even though we come from different entertainment backgrounds, we love to try to compare while contrasting a lot of our differences between music and dance. But like we've always said, I think we have a lot of uh, similar ways we take our passions. And it's always good to kind of see where our thought process usually comes from. And it always seems like we kind of meet in the middle 9 times out of 10 with where we want to go with both our passions.
yeah, I mean, if you've ever watched Stranger Things and thought like, what the F is this like Metallica thing? Like, we can talk about that. That's okay. And we will do that, like, say, like, collectively, calmly, and be like, hi, um, you can kick your shoes off. It's okay. Um, it's okay. We can be fine. We know that this is not great. But we can say it happened, um,
Mm-hmm.
and go from there. And we can talk about it. We can
Right.
be your therapist. It's cool.
Yeah, man. What's up, Once FM? Thank you all for tuning in to this week's episode. Unfortunately, when we were taping this, we had some connection issues, so we wanted to give a proper send off and say thank you again. Really appreciate all the love and support. Make sure you guys are liking, commenting, and subscribing to our YouTube channel and liking us on Facebook, Instagram, and our new TikTok page that we made. If you guys want to give us a private message, you can always hit us up by email, onesitpod@gmail.com. And if you're watching from any of our various podcast platforms, make sure you're rating and reviewing us on Spotify, Apple Podcast, Stitcher, Google Podcast. We just got uploaded to a couple new podcast platforms, one of them being Amazon Music, so you guys can check us out there. And again, everything is listed in our descriptions. So thank you all. Really appreciate the love and support. And this has been another episode of One Set. See you guys on the next episode.